Good morning. This is the next day from the last video. It is still hazy and we still have air quality alerts going out down here in the south. I've decided not to work on the estate. I'm gonna dedicate myself the next day or two, or maybe even 3 days, to Facebook Marketplace and Facebook resale groups, which we have a lot of. I'm a member of around 40 or so down here. We've got lots of them in this area. And OfferUp and of course eBay. I've got a pile of stuff in my room. My room is becoming the death pile room. And it kind of smells like the Goodwill right now. So I'd like to get everything out of my room and into my bins and listed and all that kind of stuff and get it out of there. And then maybe I'll be able to actually vacuum my room this week. It's been a mess. Owning a cleaning company has made me a prude about my cleaning. I can't stand a nasty house. But sometimes you do what you gotta do. Gotta get an ox out of a ditch, as they say. There are days that you just don't want to get up and go, and today was one of my days. I don't know why. I just don't want to do anything today. I've been doing so much the last couple or 3 weeks, well, really longer than that, but really pushing it even for me. I'm a stay busy kind of person, but it's kind of been over the top for me the last 3 or 4 weeks, and we had a family death, and my daughter has been ill with back problems, and when she's got twins and a 9-year-old in the home that she's trying to take care of, there's only so much she can do, and so you come alongside and you try to help with that. And you would think heat like this would help arthritis, but it has not helped my arthritis any. It has actually made it worse this last week. So I just didn't want to get up and go today. I wanted to stay in my jammies, which I may do, but not do anything. I just wanted to eat potato chips and watch TV, and I'm not a big TV watcher. But you know, there's the law of inertia. Can be at work if you let it be at work. A body will stay in motion once it's in motion, unless it's acted upon by an outside force. So my job today is not to stay in motion as much as it is to get started and then not let an outside force change my direction. So we shall see if that happens. Root beer time. You'll notice in my videos, at least for the time being, I don't have the camera mount up. I didn't like that one. And in a van that has no air, you can't use one that has air vents, so, or attaches to your air vents, because it won't do any good because you have no air. So I guess I'll need to buy a GoPro at some point or something similar, because my phone does not like the heat any more than I do. So anyhow, I'm gonna head down here. This is I'm going into the neighborhood where my kids just moved from about 2 years ago. They've been living with me for about 2 years by invitation. They had decided that they wanted to sell their house. Their neighborhood was just a little starter home, and they had actually been there almost 10 years. They had bought it from one of my estate clients, actually. It was just a good little starter home for them, and they started raising kids, and she had the now 9-year-old, and then twins came along, and it got extremely crowded, and especially since Daddy worked some weird shifts and things like that, and trying to keep kids quiet during Daddy's sleep time was getting difficult. And they needed more room, so they decided they wanted to sell their home. And me being single and living 2 neighborhoods over from them in a place that I've been almost 25 years, I started looking at it, and I thought, well, why are we paying 2 mortgages? This is kind of crazy anyway. And yes, I'm an extremely private person, and I like my quiet time, and I like to be able to work from home and all of that. But I thought about it, prayed about it, and told them, well, why don't y'all move in with me? I'm an estate liquidator, and we can liquidate your house. And that's just exactly what we did. They thought I was crazy, but they came to realize that I was not crazy. And it is extremely crowded at our house with stuff and junk and people and animals and all of that. But we actually have kind of gotten into a pattern, and we do our thing, and for the most part it goes really well. And so we will probably end up liquidating the home that we're in now and moving someplace that we can have chickens. In case you're wondering, I'm looking for stuff on the side of the road again. This is their old neighborhood. It's gotten a lot of rental people in, which is not always an indicator of how the neighborhood will go, but it was in this case. And people just not taking care of their yards and doing what they should. So my kids needed to be out of here. We saw a couple of times too many the police coming over in this neighborhood, and I said, that's it. we gotta move y'all out. And I think my kids were thinking the same thing already, and were trying to figure out what they were gonna do. So but I just figured I'd look and see, since I am going to be working on OfferUp and some of the local sites through this weekend a little bit more than usual. Figured I'd look and see if there was anything here. A lot of times if I find a dresser, like for instance a dresser or something like that sitting on the side of the road, it may be worth fixing if it's a little something wrong with it, like a drawer slide or something like that. And when I had my shop, I would just liquidate the whole thing, you know, and fix it or sell it as is, as a project piece. Like I said, a lot of times I'd just try and sell it that way first, so it'll flip fast. I don't have to do anything to it. But if it was some little something, or I wanted to paint it or something like that, I would do that and flip it in my store. Well, I don't have that commodity now. I don't have that shop. So I have to buy little things. And the way I do it now, since we all live together in the same house, and since I don't have a whole lot of room, I might have to go back there after cleaning lady leaves. Look like a jewelry armoire and stuff. I'll probably do that in a few minutes and hope nobody has come back by. But what I usually do is I will set it in a very small portion that is open in my garage for things like that, and then I will drag it out during my next sale. Or if I don't want to fix the piece, I'll take the hardware off. And sometimes the, as they say, the sum of the parts the parts are worth as much as the whole piece, like on Etsy or something like that. If it's vintage hardware, I'll put it on Etsy, or I'll put it in my antique booth or something like that. And it may take just the right person coming along, but they will purchase, you know. They will buy. Gotta switch arms here. Sorry if the fan is loud. I have no air. That's what I've got. It's supposed to be 97 real degrees today. That's why I'm working from home. But tomorrow is trash day. As you can see, they're all getting their trash out here. And the one truck will come through today, so they go ahead and put theirs out usually. You see some pink trash cans. We've got people, I've got a pink trash can. We've got people that have paid a little extra, and that money goes to cancer research. And then the trash goes where the trash goes. I may go to the next neighborhood over. They're a little bit bigger houses. Every once in a while I'll find something. I actually find more over here in most cases. Let's whiz by and see if that lady left yet. I don't know. Was it this street or the next one? We'll find out, huh? If she hasn't left yet, I'll cut the camera and I'll come back if I end up getting something. I pulled one really nice jewelry armoire off the road probably about 3 weeks ago, something like that, and we're going to fix it up for my granddaughter since we just fixed her up a room by herself. All 3 children were sleeping in the same room until recently. We had made my dining room into a playroom for them and had all their toys and things in there, but she's 9. It's time. It's way past time. We just convinced them that it was like Little House on the Prairie. Everybody sleeps in the same room, so. You know, sometimes you just adapt. It's whether it's in this business or other business or family life or personal life or whatever it might be. Sometimes you just adapt. You just do something different. I might have chosen the wrong road. That happens, right? Oh no, maybe she's down here. Let's see. When you ramble, you don't know where you've been. I don't guess it matters as long as you arrive where you're supposed to be. Sorry about the steering wheel. Sometimes I get to looking at other things and it's like, oh yeah, I've got people I'm talking to. Yeah, I think she's still there. So we may check back on her in a few minutes. Looks like an armoire, a little side table. And the piece on the back looks vintage. So that's pretty cool. We may come back and get that. Well, Mom had asked me to go to yard sales today, and I told her yesterday I really needed to stay at home and do stuff, and I pretty much did. I worked on my shipping and all that kind of good stuff. So we wouldn't have an avalanche of boxes falling down every time we went into the storage room, because all of my shipping area is out in the garage. And so is everything else that we own, just about. Since the kids moved in, we're still working on the garage. It's been a while. It's a work in progress. So I loaded up boxes that I didn't need and a bunch of other sundry paper products and decided to take them to the recycle, and you can see what's happening, right? Don't it make my brown eyes, don't it make my brown eyes, don't it make my brown eyes blue? No yard sales, no recycling. Lots of rain. I went back by that trash pile, and it seems that they had sat things by the trash that they were loading into their car. It happens. People don't think sometimes. I thought they looked pretty good to be kind of thrown over to the side like that, but one was kind of toppled over and things, so I thought maybe it might have been the trash. But a lot of times I do find really good stuff like that. But anyway, I'm back here at home. This is my lovely room. Lovely crowded room with Goodwill pile that got listed. And then my work for today. And that's just some of it. Okay, let's be real here. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, so I have a great big old bathroom, and I use this tub a lot because I have arthritis, so I don't use my shower. Well, I actually do, but not really. I bring my piles home here. My kids think I've lost my mind. I'm a professional organizer by trade, so this is so off the grid for me. But right now, I had a lot from Play-Dohs and several buyouts that I did. I did a Claire's buyout. I'll probably have to show you all of that too at some point, where I got a lot of body jewelry and things. So I just put the extras there. I've got storage is filled up right now, so you just kind of start looking for space. So yeah, I got some things to do. I've kind of carved out a weekend. We'll see what happens.